Hi guys, it's Ashley, and in today's video we are going to be doing a cover page for this sketchbook for my sketchbook project that I'm going to be doing on this channel. But first, I think we need to put some stickers on here, so let's go do that.
So, like I said in the intro to this video, this is going to be the cover page for my sketchbook project, which is a series that I'm going to be doing on this channel of me attempting to fill this sketchbook. This is an old sketchbook that I've had for a couple years. I got it on clearance at Michael's, I believe. I think it's a render or a crescent render sketchbook. I'm not sure. I'll have to check and put it in. I'll put the link in the description for the sketchbook if I can find it. I do know that they've changed their paper formula recently, so, but yeah. Here you're seeing me doing some inking. I only included a couple clips of me inking just because I wanted it to be slower than some of the other stuff. And if I included all of my inking, I think it took me like 2 or 3 hours to ink this. So I only included a couple clips because I don't think inking is all of that interesting. So the concept behind this page, you'll see the top half, which I'm inking right now, is like sort of like a meet the artist, play on the meet the artist trend that goes around Instagram every so often. It has my name and my, information about me, and I did like some likes. I didn't want to do dislikes because I felt like that was a little, like, I wanted to be positive for my sketchbook. So before we cut to the bottom of this page, I do quickly want to explain like what's going to be happening with this project. So I don't know how often I'm going to be updating. I do want to try to do monthly updates, but I don't know how often that's going to be. But I may just, if I do like a large spread of the book that takes, me 6 hours to complete or more, then, I may just put out a simple video of that, just that one spread. Or I may do a monthly update that's, a couple pages. So yeah, I hope you stay tuned for this project, or at least just the end of this video, because I'm really proud of this one page, and it's just the first page of this book. Another thing I wanted to bring up is you may notice that later on in this video, you'll see the page dated October and November. I did start this in like September or October and then changed the date to November, and I've just been putting it off recording the voiceover for this video. So yeah, this video is like 6 months old. I do go back at the end of this video and change the date of the page to a more appropriate date, just so I'm starting off on like a quote-unquote good foot. Obviously, there is stuff in this sketchbook from before the date that is started, which is why I put the quotation marks around the date, because I do have stuff from like 2018 in this sketchbook. I will show that in another video. So now you'll see me inking the bottom of this page. It is more of a traditional cover page or illustration for this page. I only included a little bit of this portion, but I did want to include the lettering I did because I do think that's interesting, more interesting than just regular inking, because I did do it. I wrote out the word, but I didn't draw out the word, if that makes any sense. So this is me starting coloring. I use my Ahu markers for this illustration. I believe later on you'll probably see my little color chart pop in and out. For the top half of this, of the like meet the artist part of the illustration, the characters here are me, the redhead. You'll see me color her hair in soon. So it's me. It's kind of like a weird version of me, of my Sona and myself. And then she's holding my mascot Pistachio, who is also holding my character Bowl. And then the little bunny next to them is Tea Tree, who is Pistachio's best friend and like companion. She's also my other mascot. I wanted to include them because a lot of my art actually involves my Sona, but also this was a Meet the Artist, so including a version of myself made sense. The other 3 characters are also very important to me. I own a doll version of Pistachio, and at one point I was sculpting a action figure version of Tea Tree. I also have her as a pin that I created last year and plan to be selling eventually. And Bull was a character I created as an also sort of an action figure, but he has become a character that I will eventually be using for a pin collection in the future. So like I said, I'm using my Ohu markers for this illustration, and I do own a small collection of Copics. It's actually smaller than my Ohu set, but I've had those for years, and I've learned that I actually prefer the Ohu markers because of the illustrations I do. I tend to do like smaller, more detailed illustrations, and I have the like bullet nib Ohus, whereas my Copics are the Copic sketch that have the brush tip markers, so it's a lot easier for me to illustrate or color in my illustrations with the Ohus because of the little bullet nib. Now, I'm not sure if this is an issue with just the Yohus or the paper or even the micron I used to line this, but I did notice that there was some smudging with the ink, especially when you see me color in Bull with the yellow. He turns like really like muddy. But I believe I did end up going in with some Posca markers in an attempt to fix that. So I've moved on to coloring the bottom of this illustration. These three characters are three characters I created while I was living in college, while I was living in the dorms. They're called Pixies. They're like, it stands for happiness pixies. So the one on the far left is Paradise. She was the one who was created first, and then there's Peony in the middle and Puck on the far left. They're happiness pixies, like I said. They're kind of a species that I created post creating these three. I was very big into closed species adoptables at one point in my life, and I created these during that time, but they're so special to me that I would never open them up to be like quote unquote adopted or made by other people. They are just as special to me as Pistachio and Tea Tree, even though I've had Pistachio and Tea Tree for a shorter time than I've had them. So you'll see me using green, pink, and yellow as primary colors for them, but when they were first created, they were actually blue, yellow, and pink, like CMYK colors, because I was a graphic design major and I was a little obsessed with CMYK as a concept. But since then, I've actually transitioned more into a green, pink, and yellow color scheme. I use pink in my illustrations far too often. It's my favorite color, and yellow's my second. One of the items on my list for this sketchbook for ideas is to create a guide for my Het Pixies, but that doesn't mean that they'll be open for creation.
So this part of the coloring is where I hit a few road bumps. I kind of went into coloring the background of this without much thought. I was originally going to do it pink and then decided not to because the characters' colors have a lot of pink, obviously. And then I went in with yellow, but then you'll see me realize that the stars are the same yellow, so they wouldn't have stood out. And then I tried going around them with pink, and I didn't like that, so I recolored the stars a darker yellow.
So in an attempt to bring out the art from the background, I pulled out my Posca pens and my white gel pen, and I went around the characters and the stars so they popped a little bit more. Next, I went in and started coloring the letters for my name. Just use the same colors as the lettering down below. To be honest, I probably used the same 10 markers in this entire page. Maybe I can pretend that means I have cohesive designs. This little info box is where I hit my second road bump. I should know better with myself than to just let myself freehand writing. And you'll see me here misspell the word alcohol for alcohol markers. So in an attempt to fix this, I went in with my white Posca again, and then I just to hide it some, and then I went in and colored over it with the other color, and also used my yellow Posca. I'm not sure how successful it is at hiding it, but in the long run it worked out, I think. This is the finished piece before I went back and fixed the starting date on it. So here I am just pasting a little piece of paper over the original starting date, and then I went in with some Posca pen and just wrote the new start date. So thank you everyone for watching. If you've gotten this far, I know this was a pretty long video, but it was a pretty big page to complete, so I appreciate if you watched this far. And I hope to see you guys in the next video.